Namaskara.
Namaskara,
Good
Rajesh
evening
Setty.
to all of you.
Rajesh, where do we begin? First of all, it's an honor to be sitting with you and talking to you like this. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ books ಎಷ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I'm really happy that I'm able to sit and talk to you and learn a little bit in person. So, ನೀವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ?
Oh, with this introduction, I can stop and say thank you so much. That will be the fastest way to stay true to the reputation.
We all know, most of us know you here, Rajesh. We know you very well. So let's talk a little bit about the book. It's called Unshaken, and it's called Unshaken for a reason. What is that reason?
See, when I was going through, I'm still going through my adventure with Parkinson's. I call it Parkinson's because I have 2 electrodes in the brain. Nobody can shock me, I shock myself. So basically, every time I used to tell people about Parkinson's and my journey, people used to be visibly depressed. It was almost like I was carrying my own WMD, weapons of mass depression. And I said, this is not going to be good. So first of all, to relive a disease is never a good thing. So I wrote the book so that if somebody asks, tell me about your Parkinson's journey, I have something there. That's the first reason. And second reason is to give hope to people who may not be going through Parkinson's, but maybe facing some other health challenge, some other challenge in general, so that they can see that past cannot be changed, but past can be reframed. So I wanted to see how I reframed my Parkinson's to call it Parkinson's. That's the whole journey.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what do people expect from this book? You're saying it's not just about Parkinson's, but it's also about life in general. So iವಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ, what according to you is life ಅಂತ?
See, one thing they will see is the first part is snapshots from my life. I have had a very rich life. The first time I got, only time I got diagnosed with Parkinson's, only for a short while, I asked God, why me, kind of thing. Then immediately I said, I never asked God when He gave me so many good things in life. Why me? Because at that time I was joyfully accepting it. So then I said I should also accept this as joyfully as I can. Not all the times were easy, but now I can stand and talk. Earlier my standing up was a comedy for people, so forget about stand-up comedy. Me trying to stand up was comical. So it's a celebration of I would never want to be not having it because I paid such a big price for this. It's like a university. I would never want it not be there in my past, but what I learned from it and how somebody else can learn from what I learned without going through what I went through.
Just so you all know, Rajesh has a fantastic sense of humor. I think what he does is he sees or he looks at the lighter side of everything that life has to offer. Rajesh, how do you manage to do that? How do you keep smiling, laughing, and also making people with you so comfortable?
See, first of all, in the long enough duration, everybody is dead and gone anyway. Just touch the timeline and we are all gone. So there's no reason why any of us should take anything very seriously. So the last time I got angry, I don't remember if you want, I can share a trick that will make you never be angry. Shall I share it?
Absolutely, we all need it.
Okay, it's very simple. Suppose you see, anger comes when there is an expectation versus reality mismatch. If everything happens the way you are supposed to happen and it happened exactly the way, then if you are angry, then you need to be an institution, right? Because you wanted something you had happened and then you are angry, then we can't help you. Those people, even I cannot help. But suppose somebody wanted something and then something did not happen or somebody misbehaved or something, then you are angry. See, between animals and human beings, there is one skill that is very different for humans, which is we can imagine things. I always tell now it's 2023. Suppose you are angry with something, I say, Surabhi, can you imagine yourself in 2033? And then you can, because you have the power to do it. And then I say, look back this time, this year, 10 years ago. Will you be angry for that? Usually no. Because nothing is so important that literally nothing is so important that you will remember it after 10 years. So, but sometimes people are very smart and they will say, no, I will remember this. Suppose somebody calls you an idiot and then I'll say, will you remember it 10 years later? Usually you will say no. But if you are too smart, then you'll say, no, I'll remember it. 10 years later, I'll be really, really angry. Then I ask a question back. Go back 2013, 10 years before now. Do you remember anything? Most of the time, people don't remember what happened last week. Forget
Most
about 10
people
years.
don't even remember what happened 13 weeks ago.
Yes, correct. So there is nothing that is so important. I manufacture anger sometimes because otherwise people will think I'm nutcase. But otherwise, I don't get angry.
That's wonderful to know, Rajesh. So, how is the perception of the world, of the people in general, when you give out these anecdotes, when you try to say that life is more than what they see or you see?
So I studied linguistic philosophy for 7.5 years, so I'm very big on words. So basically, if you want to be outstanding, you need to out-execute. To out-execute, you need to outthink. To outthink, you have to outsee. So if you see more than what other people are seeing and more with higher fidelity, half the problem is solved. You already have an advantage. Let's take that there was a set of Lego blocks. There are 16 of them that you can see. Because of the vantage point, I got 2 more Lego blocks here, but you can't see them. I will always see much more possibilities than you can because of the advantage that I have with the way I am sitting. So everything in life is like that. You see more possibilities, then you have an advantage. So for me, I have a simple rule that I pre-like people. Every one of you I pre-like. And what can you do? You cannot take me to court for liking you, isn't it? And I choose to like you, which means that I'll see more and more things to like about you. Then half the problem is solved. People do business with people they like with each other. And I don't care how, you don't want to be likable, I like the other person unconditionally. So most of the time, people don't believe that what I am saying until they see that I am living it. Because preaching is easy, practicing it is hard.
And also the experience, right? I always tell people that unless and until you don't experience it yourself, you'll never be able to understand.
Yeah, that is true. But in this case, I don't want anybody to experience what I experienced because it will be like wishing for negative things. But see, the power of imagination is amazing, right? So basically, suppose you are selling something to nurses. You are not a nurse, but you are a salesperson. So one thing that, 2 words that people can use is just imagine. Just imagine you are a nurse. And then the power of the imagination is suddenly you act as if you are a nurse. And then you can do this. Similarly, I use the power of words for everything. So even though I want the lessons to be learned, I don't want anybody to go through. I say, in my stand-up comedy, I don't want any competition. Not because I am egotistic, because for me to have competition, somebody else also has to go through what I am going through. I don't wish that for anyone. I'm okay if I fail, but I don't want competition. Because why should somebody go through what I am going through?
On that note, I'm going to leave the stage for you and your stand-up comedy and the stories that you have for us this evening, Rajesh. I'll see you around.